Hello and welcome back to Go Again Gaming. My name is Az, and today we're going to be talking about the top 6 cards for Runeblade class. This isn't the Shadow Runeblade class, this is the original OG Viscerai Runeblade class. But before we go into it, please make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the little bell notification if you want to be notified of any future videos. And if you are looking for any sealed product, whether that's Welcome to Wraith, Arcane Rising, future Monarch Unlimited, if you're looking to sleeve up any decks, Ultra Pro sleeves, go and check out the Card Vault and use my affiliate link in the description box below for any sort of UK orders. You're going to get 3% off if you use that code. So you're going to buy these products anyway, and as and when you do, you'll be helping me if you use those links, which is great. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So this is my top 6 cards for a Viscerai Runeblade deck. Now this is my personal opinion, and obviously I'm a noob to the game, so you may think that my opinion is absolute garbage, and that's fair enough. But these are my favourite cards in the deck that I've built for Classic Constructed. Now, you can go ahead and say that all the sort of legendary equipments like Grasp of the Arknight, Arcanite Skullcap, all of that sort of stuff is not going to appear in this list. You know, legendary equipments are not going to appear in this list because they are hard to come by. Also, what's not going to appear on this list is the Viscerai specialization cards, because obviously if you're Viscerai, if you've got Viscerai specializations, you're going to want to put those in there because obviously they are very good for that hero, obviously, because they're specialization cards. And what you won't find in this list is also the Arknight Shard from Crucible of War. A fabled card being extremely chase rare, it's just not really applicable to a list like this, so you're not going to find any of those cards in this list. So the first card, number 6 on the list, is a card called Spellblade Assault. So this is a fantastic card. It's got 3 iterations as well, and it is a just a standard rare card, I believe. Yeah, just a standard rare card. I'll flash it up on the screen for you now. This card is awesome. Obviously, it comes in 3 iterations. You've got a blue pitch, a yellow pitch, and a red pitch. That's good because obviously it scales with the game, and how you use these cards scales with the game. But what's good about it is that it's a very, very cheap little attack that you can get in, and it creates rune chant tokens, whether or not... It doesn't matter if it hits, it still creates rune chant tokens. So it's a nice little strategy just to get some little nicks in, create some tokens early on, and late game, obviously you can attack with it and do some serious damage with the rune chants that you've built up over time. But the good thing about this is obviously there's 3 iterations of each card, and it's good to have a few little attacks in the Runeblade deck, albeit you don't really want to be attacking all the time. It just gives you an option to apply pressure to your opponent, but at the same time, creating as many rune chant tokens as possible is always good on a card like this. And again, it can be pitched for 3, 2, or 1, depending on how you need it or when you need it, and it can be used obviously as a 3 defense card as well. So it is a very, very good card in the deck. It's a Runeblade card as well, so obviously Viscerai's static ability does care about Runeblade cards being played to obviously trigger his rune chant creating ability. So again, it is very, very relevant, and probably one of the only attacks that I would have in a Runeblade deck is this, along with another one which we'll mention later. But the sort of strategy with Viscerai is to basically just build up and charge for a huge attack, but the fact that you have access to these attacks as well as building up arcane damage is just a way to put pressure on your opponents. They never know where the damage is going to be coming from with a sort of Runeblade deck, because they can be dealt either a load of arcane damage or just little attacks that then pop off little rune chants here and there and other sort of effects that all stack up and deal a lot of cool little bits of damage coming in from different areas, which is what Legend Story Studios, they sort of describe it as being, you know, sword and sorcery, attacking from different angles, which is always hard to deal with if you're not running arcane barrier stuff for the arcane damage. So yeah, Spellblade Assault, run a playset of these for the red, yellow, and blue pitches, because again, it just gives you more options to attack with either a huge attack or little attacks that do create rune chant tokens off the back of it. So yeah, they all create 2 rune chant tokens as well, which is just great. So nice little card, Spellblade Assault. The next card in here is a card called Reduce to Rune Chants. This is number 5, Reduce to Rune Chant. So again, this card is a Runeblade defense reaction card. So why would you put this in there? So Reduce to Rune Chant is another rare card. And it comes in 3 iterations, red, yellow, and blue pitch values. So obviously it could be pitched for either of those, 1, 2, or 3. And it costs 1 resource less to play for each rune chant you control. So it does cost 1 resource to play this defense reaction, but in this deck, it basically costs 0. But it also creates a rune chant token when you use it. So it's just another way of having a card in hand that allows you to defend quite big, heavy attacks, but at the same time doesn't cost you anything, because most of the time you will have rune chants out, and it creates a rune chant when you play it. So it is a very good card. Just a great card to have in there. Again, what another strategy that you can do with Runeblade is just stall and stall and stall and stall until you've got a big enough attack to wipe them out in one go, especially in Blitz. Yeah, Reduce to Rune Chant, fantastic card. Defends for 0, basically, and creates Rune Chant tokens. So a good way to sort of go down that strategy of stalling the opponent and building up for one big attack. So again, multiple avenues that you can go down with this card. So that's Reduce to Rune Chant. Number 4 in the list is a card from Crucible of War. So let me just get up the Crucible of War section, and that's Morvaron Skies. I'm not sure whether I've pronounced that correctly or not, but the art is absolutely awesome. I think it's the Demonastery. I think it looks like Demonastery in the artwork. But yeah, again, this is a 3 iteration of card. So you've got blue, yellow, and red pitch values, and it's a Runeblade action card that can be played again for 0 resource cost. And it says, the next Runeblade attack action card you play this turn gains Go Again, and if this hits, create rune chant tokens. Go Again. So, yeah, it's a great way of getting your non-attack action play in with Viscerai, because obviously you have to play another non-attack action card to get the triggers from Viscerai, right? So, this is a great way of just giving your next attack action card Go Again, which is brilliant. And if it hits, create 2 rune chant tokens. If you couple this with the aforementioned Spellblade Assault, it just means that you're creating loads and loads of tokens off of one little attack, potentially, if they let it go through. So a great way of giving other attacks and other bigger attacks later on Go Again, as well as if it goes through, you're getting more rune chant tokens as well, and it fulfills Viscerai's quota of having to play a non-attack action card, and then every Runeblade card you play after that, you get a rune chant, can be activated because if you play this for 0, because it has Go Again on it. So yeah, a fantastic inclusion for Runeblade decks that was released with Crucible of War, and I'm very glad that we're getting a reprint of that very soon, which is fantastic. So keep an eye on the card vault and use my affiliate link to make sure you pick up those unlimited reprints when they come out. So Morvaron Skies, a fantastic card, and again, it's got 3 iterations as well, so you can fulfill all of those sort of early, middle to late game criterias as well, which is good. So yeah, that's number 4. Number 3 is a given in any Runeblade deck. Any Runeblade deck needs a playset of these, and that is Read the Runes. So you must have known that this card was coming. So Read the Runes, again, it's got 3 iterations. So this deck is very streamlined, but again, it can also be very split with what way you go with the damage. So that's why it's a good deck to play, a good strategy to play. So yeah, Read the Runes is a 0 cost Runeblade action, and it's got 3 iterations, so it can be pitched for 1, 2, or 3, red, yellow, blue, and it says create 3 rune chant tokens, create 2 rune chant tokens, or create a rune chant token, depending on which iteration you play. So yeah, just a very good card for just building up all of your runes. And I should say as well that obviously the last card, Morvaron Skies, if your attack hits, depending on what iteration you play, you get more rune chant tokens. But that's normally the thing with most cards, is that obviously if you play the late game effect, you're going to be getting more of the stuff because it obviously costs or pitches for less late game. So obviously the red cards are better late game, and obviously the blue cards are better early game. So I should have mentioned that really at the start. But let's carry on. I'm sure you got the drift if you are a Flesh and Blood player. But yeah, this is my first sort of top 5, top 6 video, so bear with me. But yeah, going back to that, Read the Runes is just an absolute must-have for Runeblade, classic Runeblade decks. Creating rune chant tokens for 0 is just brilliant. And if you've got a way of giving that Go Again, where you get the Go Again on this action, then you're laughing. There are other cards that can do that, but we're not going to go over those today. So yeah, Read the Runes, an absolute staple in Runeblade decks. Number 2 is a massive finisher on any sort of Runeblade strategy, and that is Ninth Blade of the Blood Oath. So there is only one iteration of this card. So Ninth Blade of the Blood Oath pitches for 2, so it's a yellow bar card. It costs 9 resources to play, but it has an attack of 9, and it says it costs 1 resource less to play for each rune chant you control. So in this deck, in this sort of Runeblade deck, when you draw into Ninth Blade of the Blood Oath, you want to be playing it when you can play it for free. You don't want to be casting any resources or using any resources for it. You want to be playing Ninth Blade of the Blood Oath when you can play it for free. You can pop off all of those rune chant tokens that you've made over the game and then hit them for 9 physical damage. It is just a massive finisher in these decks when you've built up a load of rune chant tokens. So again, it's a 1 iteration of cards, so you can only have 3 of these in your deck, which is a bit of a shame, but again, you don't need any more than that. These are big finishers, so you want to be using your Spellblade Assaults to get in the sort of little chips in here and there if you are attacking, but you do want to draw into this late game to just do some insane damage with rune chants that you have built up over the course of the game. So yeah, Ninth Blade of the Blood Oath, an absolute house in this deck, and sometimes it can read as a 9 resource attack for 0. For 0 resource, depending on how much rune chants you have. And it basically, if you're reading it at that point, you know, a 9 damage attack coming in for 0 resource, that means that you're going to be doing 18 damage because you've got 9 other rune chants out that are going to pop off and deal 9 arcane damage to someone. So again, this is an absolute finisher of a card, and yeah, definitely run these in Runeblade strategies. Ninth Blade of the Blood Oath. And then finally, number 1 in the deck is just such an enabler of Runeblade strategies. And again, it's only a one-off card, so you can only have 3 of these in there, but they are so powerful in this strategy, and that is Mordred Tide. Again, that's from the Arcane Rising set. So this is a Runeblade action card. It costs 0 resources to play, but it can be pitched for 1, although you don't really want to be pitching this. You want to be using this card when you have it in hand. And it says, until end of turn, if you would create a rune chant token, instead create that many +1, and then you get to go again. So just a fantastic setup for creating a shed load of rune chant tokens. And again, all of the cards that we've mentioned in the past, whether it's Ninth Blade of the Blood Oath, Morvaran Skies, Reduced to Rune Chant, Spellblade Assault, all of them care about having loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of rune chant tokens, and this just pumps up that entire turn with giving you that many each trigger plus an additional 1 rune chant. And again, it's a Runeblade action, so it triggers with Viscerai as well. So if you play this and then play another Runeblade card afterwards, you get another rune. You get 1 rune chant from Viscerai plus the additional 1 from Mordred Tide, and it just goes absolutely bonkers. The turn you play Mordred Tide, you're going to be getting a load of rune chant tokens, which can either be used to defend, can either be used to attack, can either be used to reduce the cost of huge attacks. You know, there's other cards as well that I haven't mentioned that, you know, work well with the amount of rune chant tokens that you have, and some of them can be defensive, some of them can be offensive. But I think these are my top 6 for the deck that I've currently built in Classic Constructed, at least. Yeah, just a fantastic plethora of cards that I think will really work well in any sort of Runeblade strategy. But I can't wait to see what new sets will bring out for Runeblade. And if I've missed any of your favourites, then definitely leave a comment in the section below as to how you would use it. How would you use Runeblade cards, and how you would and what you would include in your decks? And is there any Monarch cards that fit the sort of standard Runeblade strategy? Let me know in the comments below. But thank you very much for tuning in. This has been my first sort of top 5, top 6 list for one of my favourite classes, and that's Viscerai, the Runeblade. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment section below. Like, share, subscribe. Check out my affiliate link if you're looking to buy any products and Ultra Pro sleeves and what have you. And we will see you on the next episode. Thank you for watching. Peace.